Feeling our way through the dark. Katie Garfield. You were emphatically saying, "You're not going to die," laughing as you reassured one of your friends. You repeated yourself, "No, I'm sure you won't die." I was moving towards the stairs, retreating for the evening, not intending to listen to your dialogue. I wanted to open the door to your room, enticed by the play, wanting to join in, but I knew that was an intrusion. Instead, I continued my ascent and psychically patted myself on the back. This was evidence of a long journey into the darkness, pioneering territory we curated together, forging into the unknown that most would not understand and criticize, either openly or attempting to conceal through, "Not all kids are meant for a traditional education." How could I honestly answer their question, "What's Sebastian studying?" He's playing video games and watching YouTube. He goes to bed at 5 a.m. unless he played video games with his friends until 5 a.m. and needed an hour plus to watch YouTube to unwind from the games. Then he sends me a text at 5:30 a.m. "I'm going to be up a little later, so if you're going to get up early, I ask you wait until 7 if you could," which I didn't read until 8 a.m. when I did get up. Because my morning room is your room when you get up, around 5 p.m. Your morning, my evening, because I go to bed around 9 p.m. How do I share this with others knowing what I know about how others perceive the world? I don't want to cause alarm or force someone to have to conceal their alarm, because to most, our world would be terrifying. How could I share with them what you showed me? How could I possibly explain when you were born, my reality shifted, as intended, as fated? Not the fate as in the same as fatalism, although they are linked by a mindset. That if you believe in fate, you have no control over your life, that it's all scripted and fatalistic. I do understand this perspective. It is imbued in the serenity prayer, and the act of surrender can be helpful until you cross this abyss that we have been crossing together. Science was helpful for my journey through this darkness. Well, until you came along and threw that all up in the air. Love doesn't really reduce well under a microscope, although brave scientists have tried and have certainly made some convincing arguments. It was, however, this scientific method I used to understand you, which began with observation. Observation that school was creating stress in your mind, starting in preschool, but at that point, you were not verbal enough to provide data. That's where my training as a therapist helped. Play therapy. Observe a child at play to discover his world, and your world in elementary school became Minecraft. We were headed somewhere in the car to some destination I don't remember. Can you explain Minecraft to me? What do you mean? What did you do today in Minecraft? I created a zombie pigman farm in creative mode. When I throw anything at the ZPM, they get angry. ZPM have very interesting mechanics where if you aggravate them, all nearby ZPMs will also get aggravated. Wait, I interrupted you. I was feeling myself zoning out. Can I record what you're saying so I don't miss anything? Sure. I started the recording on my phone, letting myself drift away to the sound of your voice as you continued. When we returned home, I cozied up on the love seat with the audio and my laptop. I transcribed your words, looking for themes under the narrative, asking myself, what is he doing? Why is he so drawn into Minecraft? If there are ZPMs in a radius when you aggravate one, the neutral ones will also get aggravated. The anger spreads around. To keep the ZPM aggravated, you create ZPM on a platform that are named. These will not despawn. When other ZPM spawns, these three keep the anger going. The recording went 7 minutes, pausing, rewinding, playing, transcribing, taking twice, if not thrice, the recording time to carefully examine, not wanting to miss anything. Your words were in plain English, but my mind could not make sense of the narrative. I needed you to show me how these words translated on the screen. I needed to see it. My brain just wasn't wired like yours. Video games have never been a language I learned or found interesting. But you were interesting to me, and I knew from my profession if I attuned to your channel, I would expand my perception of reality, and our connection would forge a stronger bond, which would guide me in guiding you. And we were in need of guidance, because you were showing up with symptoms of an ecosystem not reflecting back you. Rather, you were being forged into something that wasn't you. In my private practice, the most common diagnosis code I use is F43.23, adjustment disorder with mixed anxiety and depressed mood. I prefer not to diagnose because I do not think my clients are disordered, at least not conveyed as it's implied that they are mentally ill. Their life may be out of order because that is a fairly common experience with transitions because of the term common, as in what we've all agreed upon as normal. But I don't use the measure of normal with you. I prefer to use the measure of you with you, and symptoms as an indicator there is something out of balance between you and your ecosystem. There was a growing accumulation of your symptoms, such as emotional outbursts of anger or having a hard time going to sleep at night alone. I became curious. That's why I dove in to discover you. You showed me your world patiently until I could comprehend the complexity of the engineering required to manufacture your system. You were intuitively designing worlds, loved designing worlds, and loved to self-learn on YouTube, like me, where I learned how to garden and cook and bake for free. Well, I did pay for the premium membership because I don't like push advertising. Not that I don't get influenced by the influencers. My garden show has informed me of products I need that I trust because they trust the products. And like me, you liked quiet. Unlike me, you were a night owl. That's more like your dad, or what he used to be before his many years in the industry. But back in the day when he was in college, man, he could burn the midnight oil. Your dad still wonders, will Sebastian ever move out? Even though you're only 16. Yes, when he meets his wife, I'd respond to him laughing, but not kidding, and then I'd remind him, you went from your family in Poland to your host family in the US to me. It's true, he did eventually move out when he was ready after we got divorced. We all have our own ways of moving, our own paths of discovery, and your path still unfolds, and why when I hear you laughing so hard to reassure your friend he isn't going to die, I know it's true. I believe you know. So does he.